great pleasure to introduce Drew Lindholm, Salutatorian of the class of 2014.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Vigneault, Dr. Gould, members of the school committee, BHS faculty, distinguished guests, family, friends, and of course my fellow graduates. Welcome to Belchertown High School Class of 2014 Commencement Ceremony. On behalf of my classmates, thank you for being here today, and thank you for being by our side for the past 4 years of high school. Teachers, thank you for all you've done, from preparing us for life's tests to putting up with our shenanigans in class, and even giving us a reason to laugh at times. Staff and administrators, we appreciate you, for even if your work feels behind the scenes, we know that we couldn't get by without you as a part of our school system. Parents, family, and friends, thank you for well over 4 years of ups and downs. It seems like only yesterday that the young men and women before you were taking their first steps, and very soon they'll be walking across the floor to receive their high school diplomas. Last but not least, thanks to each of my classmates for simply being who you are, even if we resemble a dysfunctional sitcom at times. Webster's Dictionary defines uncreative as introducing the theme of a high school graduation speech with a quote from Webster's Dictionary. The truth is, I'd be doing a disservice to the class if I tried to do this speech through someone else's voice, much less a dictionary's. The day Mrs. Vigneault told me I'd be speaking at commencement, I knew it would take a great deal of creative rigor to reflect who we are, in large part because our educational careers would have been so much less without that creative rigor. Maybe creativity is lost in today's age of standardization because it can't be measured. A 600 on the math SAT is clearly better than a 500, but how can you possibly compare a classmate who writes his own compositions for our band concerts to one whose nature-themed writing has garnered attention across New England? There's no scoring system for that kind of thing, only the memories, appreciation, and inspiration it leaves behind. I've seen so many magnificent things from my 200 peers, creations far beyond the scope of my own imagination. And with BHS touting creativity so highly, where else could you expect to see an ensemble as talented as the Lame Excuses, or prom choreographers as bold as Aiden, Dylan, and Joel? Who do you think draws the sketches in the margins of teachers' whiteboards? What inspires the writers amongst us? Have you ever seen a band concert? Have you ever seen a play? What about the art displays that line the second floor? Unfortunately, I know a lot of you haven't seen all we have to show. It's a shame that many people don't know the level of creativity in this class because they haven't seen it in full bloom. Then again, there are so many of us in the graduating class who don't see it because, well, it doesn't seem special. It's our way of life. When you can't measure it, you don't even realize the magnitude of your own creativity. But thankfully, that quality is with every graduate before us, and is not leaving us anytime soon. We live in a weary world, a world long plagued by war, disease, economic turmoil, crime, and injustice. The obvious solutions have already been tried and haven't been 100% successful. But the world hasn't seen the ideas that will be put forth by the class of 2014. The biggest problems require so much more than just the facts. What they need is a fresh way of thinking. Indeed, high school has taught us to be students. For we all know that 1 + 1 is always 2, and that a square always has 4 sides. But more importantly, high school has taught us to be people. Individuals for whom nothing ever has an exact interpretation. Each one of us has something special that makes us different. That makes us rare. We have a light that shines within us that we were always meant to share. Graduation is certainly a time to happily reflect on 4 years at BHS, a dozen years of grade school, and 18 years of life. But it's also a starting line for the next promising phase of our lives. Class of 2014, wherever the winds of change take you, I know you'll succeed. I can't wait to see what you create. Turn down for nothing.